All right, we're here with Brown's Assistant General Manager, Camryn Hickman, and big week for you guys. What does this week look like as you guys are evaluating this talent and figuring out who you want to put on the draft board and what positions and what kind of talent that you guys want to add to the organization?
Yeah, absolutely huge week, but it's really just one piece of the puzzle. The work that we do on these prospects starts way ahead. It's been years in the making. Our scouts are on the road. So really this week is our opportunity to first get to see them in person, get medical information, meet with them for interviews, and then obviously see them work out.
You guys have this experience already, so what is it realistically? How much changes when you see them work out, when you meet them in person? How much have you seen that maybe change and shift when you're in person with a guy?
I think it's all about the information that we gather and we collect to make the most informed decisions at the end of the day. So it's just, again, a piece of the puzzle. Doesn't necessarily change nothing or change a whole lot. It's just a matter of gathering that information and putting it all together.
What does that process look like organizationally, philosophically? What is the most important thing when you are evaluating a guy, what he can do on the field, what he is off the field, and all of those pieces and parts?
Oh, yeah. Who is he as a person? We spend a ton of time digging through that. Our AO Scouts do a phenomenal job of getting that information from the schools and different sources. And then, of course, what they do on the field, and we collaborate with the coaches, get their perspective. Our scouts, we all evaluate the tape, put reports in, and then we look at how they test. Obviously, medical information comes to play as well. So it's really like an exercise of gathering information and weighing the different components appropriately so that we can make the best decisions and bring the best people to the team.
Have you found in the past maybe guys here that have a strong workout or really are personable and a good person kind of surprise you and find themselves maybe a little higher than you would have anticipated originally from what you gathered before the combine?
I think surprises, can happen all the time, positively or on the other side too. But in the end, there's not one thing that's going to necessarily sway. It's really aggregating everything, and the film is a huge component of that, and we have that information, and we've been grinding that and watching it over the last few weeks and years for our scouts. So really it's just a matter of getting it all together, and this is one piece of it.
This draft, I think, is a little different than years past where everyone kind of knows this has been talked about. Offense is important. It's the focal point of turning that side of the ball around.
Yep.
When you approach the combine and then the upcoming draft, how are you seeing things shift with that in mind, knowing that it might not be the same as years past and there is such an emphasis on one particular side of the ball?
Yep. I mean, I'm sure you heard Andrew talked about it. Ultimately, in the draft, we are looking for the best talent. Of course, it is competing with some needs that we have, and we got to keep that in mind. But we have different player acquisition methods to address those between free agency, trades, and then the draft. We can really look at this as a holistic approach to addressing those needs. So it's not just the draft. And when you think of hit rates in the draft, you really want to make sure that you get the best player available to increase those chances that you have of adding a quality starter to the roster. So really, again, just looking at the whole offseason as a whole to address those needs, specifically on offense this year.
How much changed for you guys maybe in the way you approach the philosophical aspect of it, having those years where you didn't have a first-round pick? We saw a successful draft last year with those high-level picks, and now you have them again this year. How much has changed, and what did you learn from the success you had last year as you approach this one?
I think consistency has been key to Andrew in our personnel processes, really regardless of where we picked when it comes to the process. Now the strategy changed when you have those higher picks and you get higher odds of getting a starting caliber player, which is very exciting. But in terms of our process, we're pretty consistent in terms of how we aggregate the information and then put it all together. It's just really exciting to be able to add some talent in this draft like we did last year.
How do you guys view this draft class?
I think like every year there's some stronger position than others, but overall we feel like we're going to be in great position to pick players in the first few rounds that will help us and be able to contribute.
Should we be surprised? I know we talked so much offense is key, but should we be surprised if you guys do go defense in those early picks?
I think there's no such thing as being surprised because, again, we'll go with what's best available and what's best for the team at the time, and we'll let our process follow through.
Now, when you guys are looking at positions, Andrew Barry talked about the quarterback in particular. You guys obviously have Shedeur Sanders, you have Deshaun Watson, you have Dylan Gabriel on the team, but no one has ruled out bringing in a guy, whether it be here, seeing them at the combine and in their pro days through the draft, or a free agent. So why is it so important? And Andrew Barry said it's an important position, but why is that the philosophy for this organization in particular, where you guys are at right now?
Because this position is like the most important position in the sport, and we got to make sure that we have competition, and we are very fortunate with the people that we have on the roster that will be allowed to do that. And then we just got to do our job and leave no stone unturned when it comes to other potential avenues, which we always do with any position, not just the quarterback position. So we'll do the same thing here and make the best we can to help the roster.
Now, another position in particular, it's a little broader, is that offensive line. A lot of turnover, obviously, and maybe that's in free agency, maybe it's through this draft. But when you're looking at these guys in the combine, what is the key? What are some of the attributes you guys are looking for if you were to take an offensive lineman in this early rounds of the draft?
It's a position that develops slowly in terms of the curve, so there's a transition obviously when they get on the roster, but really looking for obviously the athletic tools that we identify with the coaching staff that match at each of those positions, and then really the makeup and the toughness, the competitive aspect of their makeup. That's how they will fit on our team. So again, making sure that they fit the profile both on and off the field to build that offensive line, because we do have quite a bit of work to do there.
And when you think about those things, about getting a guy ready to go in their rookie year and wanting them to maybe be a day one starter, you had guys really step up last year. Is that a talent thing, that you guys got guys that were just ready to be day one talents, or is there also a level of development, and can you accredit some of that to the coaching?
I think you hit on it in your question. It's a credit to the players themselves and their preparation, their process, and it's a credit to the coaches. They do a fantastic job at developing these players. We heard it even through Todd's interview process, talking about coaches are developers, and that's really important. They're schemers, or they're developers too. So really looking forward to what his staff will do with with our players in this new class that's going to join us.
How many conversations have you guys had with Todd as you guys are building your draft board, and he's maybe is eager to find a guy or a position that he's looking for? What's that been like?
Todd's going to be a great partner with us. He is a beautiful football mind. He knows what he needs. He knows how to get the best out of players. That was actually something that came through his interview process, and we just really look forward to collaborating and working together over the next few months to make these choices.
Young guys, free agency, what should we expect for the Cleveland Browns in this season? I know expectations are hard to set this early, but what are you guys hoping as the base level for where this organization is as you guys enter 2026?
Look, every year we're trying to put a product on the field that our fans can be proud of, we have such an amazing, loyal, strong fan base, and we want to put something together that they're happy with and embrace, and we will bring this parade to Cleveland. That's what they deserve. That's what we're working tirelessly to put together, and that's our hope.
All right, walk me through the rest of your week. Obviously, you've been busy, and you'll continue to be busy after the combine's done, but what does the rest of this process look like for you?
So we're going to wrap this up this week with obviously the on-field workouts, and then we just hit the month of March, which is super busy with obviously pro days. We got top 30 visits, and then we do a lot more draft meetings, so a lot more tape. So we just go through that. There's a lot of medical information that comes into play. So we're really at the core of gathering all this information we've been talking about so that Andrew can have it all and be ready for April.
Well, I know you are busy, so I'll let you get back to it. Go check out some of the guys and their workouts and find out who you're going to bring to Cleveland next year.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Catherine.